crystal court of pure transparency. Here, let me check it. Okay, I think it's on. Yeah. I was trying to figure out the last time that we got together because I know we've done at least six, maybe eight shows, maybe. What do you think?
Yeah, I was thinking, I think it was about 6 or 8. I saw something pop up on YouTube
There it is.
five
Okay.
years ago.
5 years ago.
5 years, 2020.
I I think we probably did one in 2019 even
Yeah.
when I was in Hawaii. Oh, let me get this back on the screen. I can't see anybody. Let me get my face off of here. I don't want to see my face. Hide self view. Boom. All right. So Zoe Annabelle,
Oh,
Zoe
just call me
Rebecca Bell.
Zoe, Zoe,
Yeah, I
Zoe.
know. Yeah, I was like trying to type it in and I realized your name had changed, but then I remember you had to create a new account a few years ago. I remember that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But yeah, welcome to the show. It's been a long time for me, and it's
Mm.
also been a long time since we've seen each other. And thanks for coming in and sharing sacred space with me and everybody else. And I know you're very transparent. That's one of the things that I really admire about you and the people like you. So, yeah, I'd love to talk about what you've been doing and, um, how you ride the energies and what we usually do.
Yeah, cool. So how have I been? Refining, refining. Um, it feels like we're coming into like the tests and the initiations and it, it like it's I find it hard sometimes to go back because it feels like everything's been collapsed. Like it's
Yeah.
all like it's all now. And it's like this like the time, the concept of time that I had before that I felt this urgency for
Mm.
many years of have to do something, need to go and do this, need to go and then realizing the whole illusion with that.
Yeah.
The 3D, the game, our own game that we're in because we are the game and we are the matrix and we're the playing field.
Mm.
So I feel like I've just had these beautiful lessons, not like good or bad or but all brought into one, like teachers and experiences to roll me or drag me or elevate me to give me these experience of this deeper to come out a little bit more softer, come
Yes.
out a little bit more humble,
Yes.
be reminded of the power of the Bambi legs. I like to call them the Bambi legs when you sort of like you
Yeah.
get rolled and then you're like, ooh, gosh. So even just recently, really like coming up and being shown, wow, there was still a chord of going right down to the root
Yeah.
and that reminding of I'm always safe. It
Yeah.
was like revisiting old stuff. So that's what it feels like recently. It feels like a revisiting since the eclipse, we were saying a revisiting of old stuff. So I've attracted experiences
Yeah.
to even to recognize and see self
Yeah.
in another of even my dark shadows. So I found myself going off the rails a little bit since the eclipse of exploring old patterns of behaviors to have a deep love and love for the other person and then release and let them go.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah. God, yes. You summed it up very good. I was going to say, for me, it feels like, you lose your reputation. It's like, from a
You
human
no
perspective,
longer
you
give a
lose your
fuck.
reputation. Like, when you get, like, I said for a long time, like, another way to say I am soul is I'm not afraid to show my ass, but I think this is a little bit different. I think for my own personal journey, I'm not really saying what people might
Oh,
think of
who's
me.
that?
That's not even in
Don't be
the,
calling me
that's,
now.
but what I'm
Sorry.
saying is like when you look at yourself
Yeah.
and you're like, oh my God. And and I say this in the highest form of reverence, but like stupidity, like
Mm-hmm.
unconsciousness, But stupidity to
Mm-hmm.
me leads me to laughter because I'm like, oh my God, these humans are fucking incredible. Like we were so deep in this stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, a lot of what you described is, you know, what I would say, and the time thing has left. I mean, I've too many people. Like I saw somebody that you might think was like, say, more 3D talking about, man, I used to get all kinds of stuff done 5 days a week in my corporate job, and now I can only get like one thing done a day. But the energy
Mm-hmm.
output seems to be the same. So that's really, you know, been a big factor because the stress of it alone on our nervous
Mm.
system, I think, is you can feel the difference, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty wild.
That's what it feels like, though. It's like that's the game, isn't it? It's the been tuning into it. Like, how good can we get at mastering our own energy? How good can we get of, um, so everything that's playing out, people go chaos or all this darkness or blah, 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 all of that. Like, it's assisting us. It's this assisting to go, hey, let's really be transparent and bring your shit show out for you to look at. What level of game are you playing at? And the more invested you are in that, then the more of that is playing out inside of you. It's like, whew.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, yeah, I think you said it exactly right in that first sentence even, you know, the mastery of being our own harmonics, you know, our own balance, to
Yeah,
include the multidimensionality, but also the human emotional spectrum that is our unique aspect of our, you know, fragment of the, say, the oversoul. Um,
yeah,
so, and then, you know, like the whole thing about the distortion and all the script and all the stories and all the things that are presented around the world, it doesn't feel like it did a year ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago. It's like what you're saying is that we don't even have to think about it. We do what you said in that first sentence, and everything outside of us changes. Are you experiencing, you know, glimpses of that or things like that in your, you know, everyday life, like just the way, you know, the way you're living, you know, or, you know, or is it like working with you, or are you still feeling resistance?
when I feel resistance, I have to check myself
Mm,
and go, what is it within my ego of righteousness or arrogance that has resistance to what I'm being shown? So
mm.
I'll always bring it back to self alignment. How am I showing up right now? What is that showing me? So I think, I don't know if I'm answering this properly because I can't remember the question now.
No, you
The
are.
resist, the resistance, I
But
see
you,
resistance as something to lean into,
right.
to then refine. And then you get a little bit faster and smarter. I do feel things are happening super, super fast though, which
Yes.
really
Yeah.
got me. I went into a little bit of a tailspin over a few days of going, holy fuck, like, what are my consistent thoughts? Like, shit, like, what are my consistent thoughts? Because I'm creating it. I'm just being reminded of the level of responsibility that we each have,
Yeah. Yeah.
moment to moment.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I won't step outside unless I've done my work on myself. And that's been like since 2011. It's like own your shitstorm before
Wow.
you even step outside.
Wow. Wow. That says a lot. And I think what you're saying too is what I'm seeing in people and I'm feeling in myself is we're taking everything into ourselves. Everything is like you said, I'm not even going to go out energetically, you know, virtually, in my
Mm-hmm.
neighborhood if I've got stuff going on. And
Mm-hmm.
like I think that's been a big part of it too, because I think a big part of the surrender has been us in our own internal dialogue, you know, like Big Todd, Little Todd, um, getting past these things that you're talking about. Do you feel like it's easier now? I mean, because I feel like, you know, if we go back 2 or 3 years ago, we were judging ourselves a lot and shit and like, you
Oh,
know, and
judging
fighting
habits.
it. But
Yeah.
it feels smoother now. It feels less, maybe it's not the right word, but painful. Um,
Yeah.
it's that like I don't know how to explain it, but like since June 1st, as they
Yeah.
come in, the clarity comes in. It doesn't mean that the somatic response in my body doesn't feel something. You know what I mean? but at the same time, the soul, I guess you kind of say the soul overrides,
Yeah.
and that vibration, that band of frequencies, which I think we're all tapped into, and on the other side, so to speak, of the old paradigm. But it's only happening. I don't say only happening. We're seeing it. We're through our own experience,
Yeah.
and we're just starting to share it. And I think what you said earlier about, all the stuff going on out there, I believe it's starting to set in that we do control all that. We don't have to think about that. All we have to do is think about ourselves. That's the best thing we can do for everybody. And that,
Yeah.
one soul, one awakened soul. I saw a quote today. I don't know who it was. One awakened soul has Abraham Hicks has the power of 1 million unconscious. You know,
And that's our role, right? To go into those places, once you've attended to that. So yes, it has become more easeful because I think there's been more and more that have really been, because we can only play transparent now, so there's no more fucking hiding. So it's just, so you might as well just own your shitstorm and, you know, go into that
I love
temporary
the
shame or
shift storm.
temporary,
We had to put
you
that in a
know?
rap.
Yeah, it's like that turning
But what you're,
yourself
but what,
inside out.
what I feel like what you're saying is, correct me if I'm wrong, but what you're actually saying, and I think what we're all kind of in this field together is where what the conversation that you're having, the explanation that you're giving is with yourself. It's
Hmm.
like there's nobody else involved and it's all on me. And it's not like a bunch of pressure. It's just like, oh my God, and you have more
No
self-aware,
pressure.
more self-awareness, more self-love. And it is
I'm not
it
going outside.
right. Well, if that's what it takes, I mean, I put up a lot of
Yeah.
memes and a third of them are about not going outside and I don't like people. But I'm
We're
kidding. But
so judgmental, right? As humans,
yeah,
I find.
yeah,
Like I
yeah,
catch myself how judgmental I've been and how my own judgment was my, self-flagellation, all of that.
yeah,
And that's really humbling to realize that. I do feel there has been a different shift. Like, people used to talk about love, and I'd be like, yeah, 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 I get it. But actually, just that feeling in the frequency is different. And it's like the heart is, I'm just
yes,
feeling so open, and even the experiences of disappointment or illusion of disappointment, then that cracking open and opening. So I do feel there's a different frequency. And no matter where we go, like our fields, the more we expand, like our light body fields, we can impact and we influence everything, everyone we walk past, every, you know, aspect of self we walk past. We're changing the field, and there's this sharing of energy or learning to what you're going to tune into, what you're not going to tune into, because you don't need to go out there heart on the sleeve of fuck the
yeah.
savior stuff. You just go silently,
It's like
say shut the
it's
fuck
like
up.
you're carrying the new frequency or for whatever, and
Yeah.
there's no judgment in it. There is
Yeah.
like what you're saying. It's more like, oh, I like that, I don't like that. You're not like judging in each moment, going, oh, what's that guy up to, and this and that. I'm experiencing that in this little Mexican town.
Mm-hmm.
To even to the point where you were talking about dreams. We were talking about dreams before we got on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I dream a lot, especially now, the lucid dreams, and they seem to
Yeah.
be connecting. And then the other thing that's happening is as I'm sitting here, meditating in communion, laying on the bed, staring at the ceiling, for long periods of time, I think a lot of people can probably relate right now.
Mm-hmm.
I would start to think about like, okay, here I am. Everybody's gone. What do you really want right now? You're in this house, you're in Mexico, blah, blah, blah. And I'll say a couple of things. And within 2 or 3 days, a, kind of a symbolic or a glimpse of that happens. kind of
Mm-hmm.
literally, but it's more metaphorical. It's more energetic. So there is a
Yeah.
lot of there is a new playground. It's not the old one. It doesn't have all that distortion. The only distortion it has
Like
is
this.
here, is right here, right? What the
Yes.
individual avatars carry with them.
Yeah. Yeah, there's less time between the I think because we've integrated so much
It's
and
still
we're still
moving though.
integrating. We're still integrating.
Yeah.
The playbook is there's less of a lag or when
Yeah.
things like it's quicker the way you if you get rolls because it's not about playing in the safety zone either and go "Oh, like
No.
high frequency and I'm not gonna like I found myself going into dark, toxic places, like a pub, right? And going and sitting with the locals and where I used to live. And it's quite funny going in there. I'd only been gone like 8 weeks and they didn't recognize me.
No comment.
But just to sit and be in community for a while and not be so judgmental about it and then get
Yeah.
back to doing my own thing and my clean living but, we came here for the experience
Yeah.
and what an
Yeah.
amazing experience it is.
Yes. I have that conversation every night with myself, sometime between 5 and 7 or 8 or 9, depending on what I'm doing. Like, what do you
Yeah,
want to do before you go to bed? You know? Um,
yeah.
and the other thing about what you said about going into the pub, um, a soul is a soul is a soul. And I walk through this little Mexican town, 20 streets in the main square, and see all these different walks of life untouched. It's
Hmm.
very much a cash society, um, really old school, authentic. And you pick up so many energies that
Oh,
you can see are beneath the energies that we had translated through the distortion and let's say the Western, presentation of what, get on the conveyor belt, get on the corporate ladder, have two,
this is who I
get
am.
married, have two children, blah, blah, blah. And it's more pure, there's no judgment. People are just cool. Nobody bothers each other. And I'm thinking, okay, this is a part of my field.
Hmm.
I'm not going to say, hey, I mean, I do feel blessed, but I'm like, you know what? You created this and it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And that's just one, metaphoric example. I believe a lot of us are going through this. Part of what drew me to asking you to come on was I've seen you come out. You've been open.
Coming
And
out
I
the
don't just,
closet.
huh?
Coming out the closet.
Not the closet. No, no. I mean, like, okay. So like when I started doing videos years and years ago, there wasn't anybody doing it. And it started
Mhm.
over 2, 3, 4 years. Then it started to get bigger and bigger. And you were one of the first women I saw come out. This is probably like 2019, 2020. I don't know. And then like, you have spurts. We all have spurts. But I noticed that you started coming back on, and maybe it's because I came back on, I guess like mid-May, but like really
Mhm.
coming out and saying, hey, I got something to share, and it's a different energy. It's like that humility
It's
you're talking
closet.
about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Put that down. A bit better.
You're right.
Yeah.
But it's like that humility. It's like everything that you're talking about, the non-judgment, the oh, I'm showing my ass, but you know what? I don't care because I'm being myself kind of thing. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Transparency, transformation, and the only real pure code is in the present moment, in the eternal moment, in presence, by our reflections in this density. And that's what I'm experiencing. That's what I'm seeing. I'm like, oh my God, that's me. I'm looking at a part of me there. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it
Yeah.
used to be we would look at someone and go, oh, that's not me.
Or there would
I'm
be
not
a
like that.
competitiveness or a there would be a friction or something with people. I don't know about you, but I went through like I don't know how long it was, but a lot I didn't know how to not speak, but it's like everything was getting so recalibrated that
Mm,
I just didn't want to, I just needed to let it all go and shift from the performer. a feeling that
Mm.
I needed, that whole archetype of performing or and even going, there's so much noise out there. What do I really want to say? Like, I went through quite a long time of that. Who am I?
Yeah,
What the fuck? What am I,
I can
what
I
am I
can relate
doing?
to that. 2023, no wait, 2024, all of 2024 in terms of that. And like, everything went to nothing. Like I didn't do shows. I closed Soulogy Network because I couldn't put myself into it. Everything
Yeah.
went to nothing. And literally even further than I thought what could occur. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's some kind of grace involved. There's some kind of something inside of us, or me. I can speak for me, but I can see it in my reflections like you. And that's what I was referring to, because there's a
Mm-hmm.
difference in the way that you're coming out with your videos and your posts and your blogs, than it was just like for me
Mm-hmm.
before that, 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think that's indicative, as the individual goes, so goes the collective. It's like us finding our voice, having more self-love for ourselves, and understanding that the best thing we can do with what we're getting is to share it
Mm-hmm.
in whatever form, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, we give less of a fuck, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
and I
Yes.
think that a lot of it is like the feeling invisible. That was a big thing. Feeling invisible, feeling not heard, and just accepting that and letting that all go, and then that cleared the space, like cleared the slate for sharing, because you want to share in the moment so it's that moment to moment sharing, rather than going, right, on day such and such, I'm going to plan this. This is my strategy. And I've just gone, I don't, it's not allowing source to flow through. And we
Mm,
came here to play.
mm,
We came
mm.
here to bounce off each other. And it says, all because we are one.
Exactly. And I got this the other day. It was like, the truth is coming for everybody in a personal and a private way.
Yeah.
And
Right.
basically, and when we get to the other side, we're going to see we're all the same. And I think
Yeah.
one of the big factors has been, all this talk about masculine and feminine. And
Yeah.
I've heard, and rightfully so, I've heard women for years talk about it because they've led the way these last 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't, I'm not being heard, but I'm telling you, as sure as I'm sitting here in equanimity, he felt the same, right? So
Yeah.
what my point is that that's one example of this convergence, of this awareness, of this oneness, which is actually a whole nother level of consciousness. Is that, hey, you and me, Zoe and Todd, we're the same. Same
Yeah.
trip, same tears, same fucking everything. You know what I mean? And if it wasn't this lifetime, it was all the other ones. Uh, and we
Yeah.
don't even have to go there because we carry all the code from all the incarnations that we've had.
Mm-hmm.
So, like when I look at you, I can see myself, but this isn't the only. I've seen it now with several people in the last few days. Um, I can almost like I know they're feeling what I'm feeling. It feels like a kind of a nervousness,
It's
like
excitement.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
It's
a
like
little bit of a nervousness, like you're going to go on a roller coaster.
That's
Like
exactly it.
that kind of feel, or like you're going to see your go on your first date, or you're going to go perform on stage for the first time or something.
Yeah, it's
But
here. It's like
it's
this.
that chi, it's that kundalini
Yeah.
thing, and to me, it really feels like a Taurus, right?
Yeah, it
Whether
is.
it's going this way or between us right now
Or
this
this
way,
way.
yeah, all the other ways. And
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to explain all this stuff as
Ah,
it's happening because, like you said, it's happening so fast.
yeah. It reminds me of what Ram Dass says. We're all kids in the sandpit of life.
Hmm.
You know. Yeah, it's the returning to innocence, and the
Hmm.
innocence. full acceptance. There's nothing to hide. There's nothing to protect.
There's
Pure
nothing to
innocence.
judge.
Nothing to judge.
Yeah. And if we don't judge in ourselves, that doesn't mean we don't have to revisit things.
Yeah, I'm still
You know what I
leaning
mean? You
into
can't just like wipe
loving
that.
parts of myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
wiring is so ingrained, and it's that gratitude rather, remind rather than this illusion of what we think we look like. And it's the how is it useful? Is it useful? Is my body useful? Can I use it, for is the container, can the tank container expand
Mm.
and give grace, and can we be loving to that container as we continue to embody more and hold a higher frequency, so then others don't have to go through as much, and it's quicker, and they may get dragged, but it's quicker and it's smoother for them
Mm. Mm. Yeah.
because we're doing it for ourselves, because it's all us. Or
Yeah.
that I think that's been a really humbling. Okay, I wasn't going to share this, but I'll share it. Fuck it. I had like one of my really good friends that I had friends for many years, right? We had an intimate experience, quite a few, and I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, has that been there all the time? But I had the experience because he was a representation of an old pattern of my old addiction. We're all addicts, but of an old, and there was some familiarity for me with the UK and stuff. So I almost had to have the experience to then it completely be ripped away, to then have this deep appreciation of that aspect of myself I was still holding in shame, to then bring it into unity and to bring
Wow.
it into love and unconditional love, and then this allowing without any story, just to let go and
Mm.
no longer in my life. And it showed me what I needed to have a deeper level of acceptance of something from my past, which was really beautiful, so yeah.
Mm.
We're
Damn, that
constantly
was powerful.
learning.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
It's like that's it. I mean, it's like I can relate to this big time in this
Yeah.
period more than once. um,
Yeah, we're so
but
we're organic.
it's like okay, you go back in like
Hmm.
the old adage, what you resist will persist.
Hmm.
It's just not coming out on the normal human, way. That's why you woke up and go, what the hell's going on? But yeah, you're hit so hard with it that as you take that final hit and it knocks you on your ass, you go, oh, this is what this is. I'm okay with this. Yeah, I did this. I do this, whatever. And then I think the validation for me, and this covers so many issues. I would say patterns or programs over the let's just say over the last year, even. Um, but you don't even it's not you don't even think about it. It's like something over there, you know. It has a context, but it doesn't. Like you're beyond it. It's not in your thoughts anymore because it. What did you say earlier? Is this useful?
Yeah.
But if you haven't had that experience, I'm not saying that's a bad thing if you haven't. I'm just saying we're trying to describe what's going on right now. But that's very true for me, I'm picking that up from you. So it's like from a soul level or an energetic level, you can go, oh my God, this is exactly why this happened.
Yeah.
And then instead of looking at it like some detrimental experience, you go, oh my God, this was a collision. It was a collision of souls.
Created all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I got to experience my old pattern of numbness and that hunger that never gets satisfied within the numbness. And I was like, and how many people on the planet in the, in urgency because they're chasing and they're wanting to get something and not realizing it's all there waiting for them.
Mm.
But sometimes they need to have that train wreck, or they need to derail, or they need to have that collision to remind themselves what is, and it all came down to self-love. What is reminding me to love all of those aspects?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so corny, or it sounds so corny,
It does
but
sound too cool.
the bottom line is, yeah, it's the same thing we were talking about earlier, but you just put it in very simple terms. There's something about loving yourself that blocks everyone out, everything outside of you. And
Yeah.
when you, as you go up in degrees of that, your life transforms simultaneously. You could put it in very general terms, but that's the kind of consciousness or awareness that we've entered. It's a whole different math. It's moving extremely fast. Somehow or another, we're being able to comprehend it at a level above human,
Yep.
and it runs on what you're talking about. It runs on. It's almost like oneness is, well, starts here. I mean, it sounds corny again, but we all have things that have taken us away from ourselves, and therefore it's taken us away from the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's no big deal. We're all going to show our ass to ourselves. I mean, whatever it is, like what you experienced, I've had some of that happen in the
We
last few
gotta eat
months.
our own ass. We've
Yeah,
got to eat our own ass, like eat our own opinion, our asshole, you know.
yeah, and we got to laugh
Like,
about it.
like the snake and swallowing its own
That's what I'm
tail.
saying. Yeah, I had this conversation on the last show, the show before, and I said, yeah,
Yeah.
we're just we're going to find out that we're
Is that the
chasing our own tail,
Harris Isn't that the
huh?
Harris swallowing?
I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's like a Ouroboros or something like that. That where the
Okay.
snake is okay. And I made
Yeah.
the joke like the dog chasing its tail, bites the tail and realizes it was him all along. That's the kind of thing it is, and that's a funny way to look at it. But this level of self-love, I think that we're talking about right now, and that you're experiencing, that I'm experiencing, I think many, 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 many people are experiencing. I have no idea how many. Um, is something is new. Is something new
Yeah.
because it carries the spectrum of the human emotions, the nervous system, which to me is probably the physical soul. Because I think a lot of decisions are being made on feeling and not feelings. If you
Hmm.
get what I'm saying, like not letting our
Sensation.
feelings make our decisions,
Yeah,
but how
control
does
is
this
not.
how does this feel? Like
Yeah.
you said, I'm not going out of the house.
Even the senses are distracting. The senses are a distraction that keeps you stuck on the surface. So going beyond that into the clearer senses.
Mm, mm.
I was going to ask you a question. Have you, I don't know, been experiencing, sometimes you hear a conversation or you see an event playing out, like almost like prescience or clairaudience, where you hear it, it's like a day or a few days before it happens. Like I knew you were going to reach out, like just like
Mm.
a few things like that. Are you there?
Yes. Um,
Yeah.
yes.
There's two of you on the screen.
There's two of me on the screen.
Yeah.
There is.
Yeah, there is.
That's that's probably just on your screen. Let me see.
Yeah, it is on my screen.
I
Let
don't
me
even
take a
have
look.
my cameras. Oh, my camera's off. Or is it?
That's all right.
Boom, boom.
But do
Uh,
you get that? Are you tuning
um,
in?
that's weird. What happened? Wow, what happened? Oh my God, it's a frequency, Zoe. We've experienced this before.
Oh
We've ex
no, the camera's been found out. The camera's busted.
Hey, you know what? This happened with David Icke. This happened on a lot of shows. It happened on a show 2 or 3 shows ago. Okay, so the question. Okay,
Oh,
yes,
I'm
I
gonna have
have.
to go back and
No,
watch that,
you're
Mr.
on to
Ike.
something. No, you're on to something because yes, it's happened to me in 2 ways.
Yeah.
One, it's happened to me one time, okay, exactly the way you said. Like I knew a couple of the characters in the neighborhood, and I saw this conversation or this thing happen, and then it happened like the next day. And the other thing that's happened, and this has happened 3 times, and I think since June 1st, I know the characters, it's in the local neighborhood, and the same thing happened in, in real time 3 times, but at different times, right? It happened on one day, then it happened 3 days later, same scene. I'm thinking, what the fuck is going on here? So that's probably why it's glitching. The frequency's
Yeah,
getting too high.
yeah, glitching. But you
All
can
right,
still hear you.
yeah, I'm gonna see if I can fix it. Wow,
Yeah.
that's weird. Oh, wait a minute. I know what it is. Go ahead.
Yeah, I had it and and then I got the message, you don't need to know right now. Just trust and have faith. And then the exact conversation unraveled a few days later. There you are.
Okay.
Do you have a nice little trip, little adventure?
That was frequency. I know it was. This has happened too many times, and it's different now. You can feel it. I think that's another thing that's different now too. I don't know how you feel. Well, let me ask you this, okay?
Mhm.
Because I know you're a much better light worker than me. I'm pretty active, but I know you're like do yoga and different, dance and stuff like that. You're pretty, you stay in shape. Um,
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty lazy though. I do bare minimum. I do what I like. I'm constantly moving, but I don't. Oh, I need to do 60 minutes or I need to do 30 minutes. It will
yeah, I can't
be
do
a
that.
random, I'll get to the bottom of my bed and I'll strengthen the areas in my body I need to strengthen, open my hips where I need to open it. Because I have been feeling my body, the body always tells us what we need, right? It will
Yeah,
always
that's what I
take.
was going to ask you. How,
Mm.
what's your relationship with your body as the consciousness, the awareness experiences expanded to this level?
It's pretty good, like tuning in wise. Yeah, it will always, my body will always tell me, hey, hello, this is where we want attention. I noticed I was losing a lot of movement in my sacrum, sacroiliac, and I think that was because of the amount of energy that was coming down. And I know I would, and I know other women I've spoke to over the years, when there's big frequencies coming down, there's like my body will hold, so I have to get on the earth and get my bare foot on the earth. Otherwise, you're like anchoring and you're holding like almost like bottom heavy, which I'm not now, but I can sense it and feel it. I'm like, okay, I'm being called to go and ground on the earth. And I know that's super important for me because I have no earth in my birth thing. I'm all air, fire, and water, and no earth, right? So I need that. But sometimes my body will, I'll be walking down the street, and I've had this over the years where, and all of a sudden I'm limping, I can hardly walk, and I'm like, oh, okay. So then I'll go and sit my ass or get my body into a stretch, and I'll stay there for as long as I need to. But I'm also in this I feel in this process right now, my whole body has been changing. It feels stronger, it feels younger. There's areas, yes, I still need to strengthen. But it's feeling different. Like the density and the heaviness that was in there. It's almost like it felt like it had to be jellified to then be rebuilt.
Mm,
Does that
mm,
make sense? So it's like there's definitely, and I find sometimes lying in bed, like just sleeping at night and then asking for your body to be recalibrated
mm,
intentionally. And
mm,
that's when a lot of it happens.
mm, mm. Yes, yes to
But I'm
that.
not
And
doing a lot. I don't go to classes, Todd. I don't go
yeah.
because it's too noisy or there's a sermon happening in the room. Some
Well, I thought maybe you did some of that, but actually, you're. your curriculum matches mine because I lift some weights, light weights, and most of it
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, it
like our
really,
body.
yeah, I wouldn't even explain it. I won't explain it because it would just be another way of explaining what you explain for yourself. It's just in my own way. Um,
Yeah,
but even with okay, because I didn't even know this, but like, okay, so, and I've talked about this a couple times, but about 2 years ago, because from about 30 to 60, okay, um, my lower four vertebrae were pretty much locked. Okay.
wow.
I couldn't pop them. If I went to a chiropractor, they would get down to those and they just wouldn't do
Yeah.
anything. And about 2 years ago, I started laying on a yoga mat and stretching, and they started popping. Boom, boom, boom. But my soul was
Yay.
telling me to do this. And so it's continued and continued and continued. It's freaked me out
Yeah.
sometimes because sometimes they're pretty good jolts. But once I got down to the bottom one, all of a
Yep.
sudden I started to have these occurrences where in this, I think you said the sacroceliac or whatever it is.
Sacroiliac,
Okay. There's,
like
and
this bit.
if yeah, if you look, yeah, if you look at the like the
Shameless.
I'm sorry. Hey, I'm transparent. But if you look at the sacroiliac, it's almost like there's
Yeah.
little bitty vertebrae within it.
Oh, and there's nerve complexes around there. That
Yeah.
is like
And I've
fascinating.
and I because I
Complex.
felt it because the big ones would go boom, 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 and then it would go so that I could feel them, I could see them in my third eye,
Yeah.
and on one hand, my human's like going, oh shit, man, I can't afford for it to break down now. It's been too long. You better beam me up. But on the other hand, something in me is telling me, um, no, you're transforming. Okay.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't feel like it all the time, and I think what you said for me really resonated was like, like um, there's parts of me I know that I can strengthen, but it's like I can do that in a way that we couldn't before. So like say
Yeah.
for instance, if I'm just doing light weights and doing, repetitions, it's like being on awakened DNA steroids. You know what I mean? It's because it is a higher expression of living
Yeah.
spirit. I mean, you're in the density and the awareness and the consciousness and the transformation is taken to a place where these things are possible, and they're possible by us doing them,
Hmm.
which, which, what's the potential here?
Yeah. I think our bodies are remembering our superhumanness and you know, all the codes from when we were warriors, all the different things, all imprinting into our body. We have to go into it. You have to move, and like you're doing listening. I tell you what I have been doing
Mm,
recently. It's all very new, and I feel very blessed where I'm living because I share with two guys, and one of them knows his shit when it comes to movement. But anyway, he was telling me about body flossing, and I was like, "Fuck, I want to give it a go." So he's been wrapping because my left knee is my bionic leg. My bionic leg that will run one day, but there's no cartilage, there's no ligament, and but it's functional, right? And it works. And I just have to work with it. So body flossing is where you get this high compression, like thick band, and he wraps it around my leg. Tourniquet, it's a tourniquet effect where it's disfiguring my leg. So when it's on my leg, I'll do a video next time and send it to you, and it disfigures my leg, and then I walk with it for 2 minutes. And I've always been fascinated by fascia, like that's another network system going on in
mm,
our body.
mm,
I walk with it for 2 minutes, I go upstairs, come back down, I'm doing both legs, and immediately I can suddenly my natural movement starts switching on in my body. So I'm then become aware of shit. I was rolling in on the inside of my feet. Suddenly I can become aware of the outside of my feet without thinking the awareness automatically. It switches on how I'm supposed to be moving. and then I'm repatterning it for two days as I go out walking, because we're constantly repatterning, constantly assimilating new energy. How am I walking? Where are my feet touching? All that thing. And then I'm starting to notice, then my butt is activating naturally. So I've got this natural movement. So I'm doing it every 2 days to rewire my body, to
Wow.
reset it.
Wow.
So good.
That's
Body
wild.
floss.
How long you been doing that?
Not even a week. I've done it twice so far.
Can
I
you
was due
feel
to
it?
do
Can
it
you feel
yesterday.
something? I mean, can you feel, you can
Yeah,
feel it,
straight
right?
away. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So
Yeah.
like like I've been looking at what can I strengthen in my body? So where is my dysfunction? And I've always been a geek of movement. Like I've always been passionate about that, but I sort of stepped away from it. And now I'm looking at it of what is my body showing me what I can strengthen.
Hmm.
So then, and I dream that I'll be able to run one day.
Wow. Wow.
I reckon we're going to be able,
That's
I
powerful.
feel what's coming in, the whatever ailment you've got right now that's giving you whatever dysfunction or disorder going on in your body, that's got your gift. I've always said that, like your gifts are in your pain, your gifts are in your
Yeah.
discomfort. They're in that
Yes.
your my friend laughs at me and he goes, he says you got amazing feet. He goes, the your best foot is your right foot because it's a little bit disfigured because I've got, there's like some bones sticking out and things like that. But it's like the areas that you most don't like in your body are going to hold the codes of your gifts
Do you feel
to
like
awake.
do you feel like that's like in the masculine, the right side of the body? Like
Mine is in the left. I
in
mean,
the left. Okay.
yeah,
Um,
on my toe is
do
on
you,
the right side of my body. But even that's rewiring.
right. That's what I was going to say. Okay. So you
Right
said
toe,
something
not
else. You
feeling
said some,
supported by the masculine.
what?
Not
What?
feeling supported by but that would have been a child thing. Yeah.
Well, I think that, but I think everybody's stories all lead to the same place, and we were made to believe that we were enemies. And
Yeah, they were giving us a beautiful lesson of
of course, I mean, of course, I'm
it's
just
all,
saying we're
yeah,
waking up to this. Well,
yeah.
okay, so let's stay on the body. So
Okay.
you said something a while ago that made me judge myself. And it was like, because I did do this. I
Yeah.
would lay down and I would specifically say, kind of scan my body and
Mm-hmm.
just connect and say, okay, let's, as I'm conscious and as I go into dream state, let's repair my body, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you said, yeah, you connect and do that. And I stopped doing it. So thank you for mentioning it. But what I was thinking
There's so
is,
many things we forget, right?
I know that's another thing, right? But like a couple of times, more than a couple, a few times in these last few weeks, I've had the presence, usually in the afternoon, to lay down and program, speak to my inner, to speak to my universe, to speak to it as the God,
Mm-hmm.
because it started out with the healing thing. Like, oh my God, let's go take a look at my back, and my lower back muscles are atrophied, and I need to build them up. And it went somewhere else, and it was like, no, I am a cell or a
Mm-hmm.
soul in a bigger body, a universe, I might call, but I am also that. And so I speak to all of them, and I tried it a few times. I can't say that I've had, um, I can point to something and say, oh, yeah, and I've seen this difference, but it feels right. It feels like, okay, almost like cutting through all the threads of it. Like if you just picture, for instance, like the nervous system, the spinal cord,
Yeah.
instead of, well, I got to do the blood system and I got to do this system, but actually just go to the light body and say, in other words, I am the I am.
Mm-hmm.
I am that. I have my own, macro, micro. So I don't know. That was a long way to ask a question, but do you feel like that's something, whether we use sound with it and vibration or whatever, whether we use our voice or not, but just does that seem like something to you after all this time and all the trip we've had? that could actually change our biology, etc., virtually instantaneously? Do you feel like that the universal energy that's here now would support something like that?
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Because it's vibration, it's frequency, word, sound, even the such a healing resonance going all the way through the body.
Yeah.
Everything is sound, light, frequency. And I think even if you don't even need a script, but you can, I'm in divine and perfect health. I am divine and perfect health.
Humming is very powerful to me.
Humming's so powerful. Toning, any form of toning with the sound, like our tongues are powerful, A way you place your tongue changes the tone in your body. Um, Same with, light language and all of that. It's all a frequency that transcends beyond the words.
Hmm.
Even if someone doesn't have the vocabulary, because sometimes it's like, oh, what words do I want to really say to my body? You can place your hands on that area of your body
Yeah.
and hum and have that intention that, like, I'm going to bring her out, Vega. So I got her from Michael Muir, who was on,
Oh yeah, Michael.
your friend
I
Michael.
like
And
Michael. He's a funny guy.
you can even use crystals. But I use this after this getting rolled experience. I was like, I wanted to, like, anything like chromium or obsidian. This is obsidian, is super cleansing to
Mm,
purify.
mm,
So I even put that. I put that like near my yoni
mm,
and just allowed the resonance of the crystal. Our bodies are crystalline, but anything that feels, even a singing bowl, anything that you feel aligned with, placing it on your body. We are the healers of ourselves. And that's what I do feel we're coming into now.
yeah. Yes. And
We
I,
have a choice. You can stay in victim, or you can remember that I am creator.
yeah, and so many of the things like that statement or the one I made, we've heard and they're in the sacred text and everything, but there's something different about it now. There's
Yeah,
actually, to me, there's like actually the ability to be able to be that.
yeah.
And when you say it, you know it because you're being it. It's like, I wonder, when they say, what is it? The Trinity, one of the Trinities is like spirit, body, soul, something like that, or spirit, mind, and soul. I don't know, spirit, heart, and soul. But
All of it.
but the body, to me, a lot of what I picked up over my work in these communities over the years was the body part of that trinity is you better be, eat this and do that and this and that. But I'm actually starting to see where I feel it's actually what I was talking about earlier, that we take ownership as a Godhead of our body, of our physical body, knowing the
Mm.
expanse that we have as a being. If we just want to stay in the neighborhood of our etheric body and this body and that body and that type of thing, that's fine. But the idea is that we can transform from here. That's how this whole thing started. You know what I mean? And we're in physical bodies. It's like, holy shit, are you serious? Can we go have shrimp au de choix or whatever on the French Riviera? You know what I mean? Because we can think of that. I mean, I'm being funny, but I'm serious. What? Yeah. I mean, really. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the kind of thing I feel at the soul level and even at the human level is it's starting to merge with it. And I'm not saying I'm there, that I came for. I didn't come for any more of this bullshit. Fuck all this shit. I'm done with that. We're not going to
That's all
think.
right. You've done enough paper rounds. Enough paper.
Yeah. We need to have some innocent fun,
I do. I feel we're now, that's what we're doing is we're dreaming in, we're creating
Hmm.
Eden.
New Eden.
And we're new Eden and we're
Yeah.
taking our bodies with us.
New Genesis.
Our bodies are going with us. We have to,
Now that's
and I
wild.
do feel our bodies will, what am I? I'm 54 this year. And I feel biologically, I feel more like I'm 30.
Really.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for my back and a little bit of my foot, before I hurt my foot a few months ago, I would say I feel like about 52. I'm
Mhm.
63 now. But I totally feel like that one of the other reasons that one of the things I don't believe it, it's a knowing kind of thing. I can't explain to anybody, but I'll share it with you, is I'm going to live 800 plus years. So, you know, I'm going with that. And if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
fuck it.
No fucking cares if you're wrong.
Like you said,
Fucking,
you
I
know,
told you so.
well, but I think that the whole thing is
It's true.
the only truth we really have and know is the one within ourselves. So it's nothing I can tell you or you can tell me. And oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. There's no validation outside of ourselves. And somehow or another, that inner, um, inner elevation to a higher dimension is what's taking effect. I mean, why would it be any different? It's not coming from out here, from the sun and all that. That's a reflection. So it's
Yeah.
from our own internal growth. And I really feel like, I kind of put it together with talking to you, but that body part of the Trinity is taking command as the Godhead, as the benevolent father, mother, as these are every cell in my body is my children, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's all running off of me.
Mhm.
It's all going to be, what I get, where I get my stuff from, Mother Earth, blah blah blah. You know, And then there's the other theory that Mother Earth says, "Fuck this! I've had enough of this. I'm going up in dimension, and you can either let go or be dragged."
Yep. Surrender or get dragged. Surrender, it's like give up the futile struggle. Be
I,
frozen.
I
Stay
am.
there.
No,
Yeah.
that's on you. Um, I know you're very creative. I'm not. I don't have an agenda here, even though what I said to you in the message, at all.
I
I'm
wrote a
serious.
few lines actually. You
Oh, did you
inspired me.
really? I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
just
I
to
was
get
gonna.
us started because we can
Oh,
do to
okay.
and fro.
I was gonna
I'm
ask you. Wow, because of everything that's happened too. I got to plug in. Um, where's your creativity at? Because I know you're very creative. Like I found that there was like a big lull for like 2 years, and I would still go in there and try to get something going, but the energies were changing. And then
Mhm.
recently, I'm starting to lock into something, and it feels like that feeling. That feeling you start to get Kundalini and Chi, and like wow, you know.
Mhm.
And I haven't
Yeah, no, I
mastered.
agree. It was
Yeah.
dormant. Like I had a massive creative blah, 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 from 20 2016 to, I don't know, 21, and then just not as much. And now it feels like it's switching on again,
Mm.
through words, through verse. Do you want to do some freestyling? Fuck it,
You
I've
have
not
some. You
freestyled
have
for
something
like
written.
5 years.
You have something
I
written down.
do.
You have
Do you want
something
me
written
to?
down. Go ahead. Go ahead. We'll just see what happens. We'll
Okay,
just
this is just off the cuff after our conversation.
okay.
Do you want to go to and fro or
I don't know. We'll just see what happens. Right now, I don't think I could, but who knows depending on what you say, put the energy out.
okay?
Let the mirrors reflect, and see what happens.
Okay. I'm gonna put my glasses on actually.
Good. Now I don't feel so old.
There you go. A quickening and a shaking, ripping up the field, stirring up the Shakti, surrendering all need. Ground your ass still, go within and shut the fuck up. Stand up and rise, conduits of transmission. Hold your line, we're surfing the wave. Stop me if you want to join in. Uniting and glowing, no doubt about it. Aligning and refining, resonant fields are lit. dropping of labels, titles, upgrading bodysuits, slip sliding states, deaths, rebirths, helter-skelter visuals. We've stripped the 3D shit, heart ripped open wide, no more looping, stewardship. Congratulations on making it, holy smoke, what a trip. Her heart open and blazing, feeling our way in, rolling, flowing, dropping lines, leaning in and trusting spirit. No set script, just flowing in faith, here to serve God's great plan. You, me, we, God's creation, God's reflection, each with a code, each with a flavor, each with a tone, rainbow dragons flying high, harmonizing, unifying. You, me, a soul, one love, one soul, one human family. Co-creating Eden, children of God, golden child, rascally and free. Fires inferno, infinity.
Damn, nice. I'm not going after you. There's no way. That was dope. That was really dope. That was really
So
dope.
thank
Yeah.
you, because I actually hadn't dropped any lines or written some poetry for a while. So
Well,
yeah,
I want
inspired me.
well, I think I feel like that's how it works. I feel like that, in the higher dimensions when we're not in the physical density, this is what we do. Like we're all beaming and we reflect off of each other. And so it's starting to happen in the physical form. I'd like to put together very quickly, like a weekly show that's convenient to all three continents. Uh,
Freestyle.
huh? Yeah. And then
Freestyle.
have like music and we just kind of have a jam session,
Like
basically.
an
Okay.
open mic.
Like, yeah, yeah, open mic. We've done them in the past, but I think
I
with
know, and
the
I never got there.
yeah. Well, I think now the way Ty's set up, or even I could do it, the music, the production of it would not be an issue, like it has been sometimes in
Yeah.
the past. But um, yeah, so like to take people just come in and somebody have them drop a beat and go for it. Just drop a beat. Or, people used to come on and give a testimony like, hey, you know what? You guys inspired me. I want to tell you my story. This is what happened to me. This is how I came out of the dark night of the soul, or, whatever it is. Yeah, I feel like this is the kind of energy I want to be involved in.
Well, let me know how I can, because I got to download before we had a call of it's about collaboration, connections, and how can I support it from here or, stir it up from this end.
So you got a download? Is that what you said?
Well, like, how can I, like, for me, I haven't really been reaching out. I've just been, so I'm really
Yeah.
like looking to expand and collaborate
Yeah.
and a
Yeah.
new frequency now. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely. No, I totally get you. It feels like there's, like you were saying at the beginning of the show, there's no like planning stuff. It's kind of like, hey, let's try to get together once a week, at a convenient time.
yeah,
And we don't push anything and we just show up and I can feel it. Like you can't rush this. I don't know how to explain it, but this is really indicative of our whole experience as it's unfolding. Even if
yeah.
we have a routine, there is something in the routine kind of Zen-esque, right? Like mowing the lawn. You do it,
There's
you got the same
order.
space, yeah. There's also
Order's
this
needed.
Yeah, but there's also this
Order.
freestyle thing.
Yeah,
There's this spontaneous, you show up. We're starting to come out now. There's no judgment. You know what I mean? I'm just coming back out after 2 years. You're just coming back out after 2 years. I'm seeing other people starting to come out, and it's not in this other uh, um, frequency or whatever you want to call it of production and commercial. It's like, let's just go meet up. Like, let's go have a rave. Let's go have a keg party out at the park or at the lake. It's kind of like that. Somebody pulls out a guitar. Yeah.
yeah,
It's an energy. It's shared. That's how I think, I think we're ready to start sharing, even though we're still a little tender, like you said about the horse or the deer that gets born and they're all wet and they're trying to walk at the beginning of the
Bambi.
show. Yeah. Yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah, and I feel like the most powerful thing we can do is have the guts, have the balls, have the ovaries to just meet up, go with the energy. Yeah, I got a sign. I knew you were going to message me. And then we start to convey that information. And we're not on the old timelines. Like, what is this? What does that mean? Da 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 da. Let's just go with it.
Yeah.
Let's just keep showing
Yeah.
up. Let's just keep showing up.
Yeah.
Well, I will definitely contact you on it. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, my soul, for sharing
Oh,
sacred space. Uh,
absolutely.
you're radiant, and there's light all over you. And I feel like this has been a good seed planted. I really do. So
Same.
that it
And
was kind of like a universal kind of a experience. I really mean
thank
that. So
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So from
Also,
Mhm.
reach out to me so I'll show you some ways for your back as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Some nice little like flows you can use, which will help with that. Because yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
because it's been pretty intense this month. Like,
yeah.
but I also know it's somewhat energetic, but it's still it's a challenge. But yeah, I'll
Hmm.
definitely I'll hit you up on that soon. No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't
Thank you
want
so
to
much for all that you
yeah.
do and the space that you create. And yeah, yeah, it felt so cool. I loved coming on today. So good.
Well, thank
Thank
you.
you. You're amazing. Yeah.
You're amazing. Everyone's amazing. But yeah, thank you for coming in. Somebody said something on one of those uh
Let's rock this shit.
somebody said
Wait.
to you about you, thanks for being so transparent. So that's really what it's all about. I
Oh,
really feel like, we need to stop talking about authenticity and vulnerability and just be fucking transparent. That's the highest
shameless.
code we can offer. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Zoe. I'll be in touch soon.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.